and welcome to Le Mans, home of the greatest endurance race on earth, the 24-hour car race. Eurosport will be covering the whole build-up throughout the week, culminating in the race action, from the green lights on Saturday to the checkered flag on Sunday. In tonight's edition of 24 Minutes, we get to look at the protagonists. We also get to meet Monsieur Le Mans in the studio. But before we do, let's take a look at the summary.
Scrutineering ahead of the great race, all the boxes have to be ticked. Audi against Toyota, it's the main game in town. We pay a visit to the GT Academy. Le Mans, it's a big boys game this. And if you like a rumble, stay close to the Chevy boys.
Welcome to the first edition of Le Mans 24 Minutes. Now, before we actually talk to our special guest who's come to join us in the studio, let me introduce you to our team for the week. Very happy to have my colleague from the Motorsports Department, Sebastian Tiffer, alongside me for the whole week. How are you doing?
Good, yes. I'm here with for the whole week with you. That's
that's
right.
Good.
Yes.
That's
Again.
I mean, that's fantastic news. But we've also got Adelaide, who's down in the pits. Adelaide, how are you?
Fine, thank you. As you see, it's not raining anymore.
That's a change, a nice change. And Justine, who's down there as well. Hi,
yes,
Justine.
With good buddies with me, Alan and Jindo.
Now, the cars may not be whizzing around the Circuit de la Sarthe, but the main players are turning up for this week, of course, before the race next weekend. And it gives me and gives us great pleasure to have the 8-time champion, Mr. Le Mans himself, Tom Kristensen. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Now, obviously, we've had the scrutineering, we've had preparations ahead of Le Mans. What's the mood like in the camp? How have things been going since you arrived?
Oh, really well. I mean, a little bit of rain have made sure that we stay a bit in the office and in the hospitality. But we have also been around running the track with the teammates, and things are shaping up nice and easily. A lot of good practical jokes have been played as well in the preparation for this year's edition.
Do you find that you're more relaxed, obviously, up until a certain day during the week, and then it's really down to business, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's a race once in a year, and all the preparation has been going on for such a long time, and now you come here, everyone is highly motivated, anyone coming here, like you guys, but I mean, the fans, the mechanics, the technicians, and certainly us as drivers. And when we come here, we don't have a lot to do in the first days, so yes, we are running a little bit around like, especially the younger ones, like kids in a candy store.
That's what we like to hear. Well, of course, last year there was plenty of drama. There was lots of emotion, joy, and pain. Let's have a look at the edition from 2011.
And what a vintage year it turned out to be. It was the fifth round, if you like, of the battles between Audi and Peugeot. It was a raging duel with all the major works cars at the front, separated by only half a second at the start. But by 2300 at night, I can tell you there was only one Audi remaining. Peugeot were looking very, very strong, but Nish first to taste the barriers. Yes, huge emotions as well. A lot of tears, but thankfully no injuries. Amazing. Well, he wasn't to be the only one. Mike Rockenfeller also as well. As you can see, the good doctor with tears in his eyes, as we said. Mike Rockenfeller also coming unstuck. And Audi, well, they were down to just one car after this. Well, how many cars do you need to win it? Benoit Trullier was part of the victorious winning Audi car that set the pole and the fastest lap. But guess what? Won it as well. Broke a few Peugeot hearts. What an outrageous move that was. In the end, the margin of victory just 13 seconds. What an event it turned out to be. Peugeot, well, they've decided not to do it in 2012. Audi, they're coming back. Will it be victory once again? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. What an amazing performance. German manufacturer now second place in terms of outright victories. One day they may just be the tops.
Tom, I guess a little bit mixed feelings when you see the pictures of last year. You didn't even get the chance to drive the car after the horrific accident of Alan, but you stayed with the team until the end of the race, and you worked kind of as a consultant. What did you do exactly?
Yeah, I think first of all, it was a fantastic race. Not only showed Audi that we have very strong cars, also that we have very fast cars, and it was certainly very, very good that we are back. We are all back, and we try to do a great race in our car with my two great buddies, Alan and Dindo. I mean, what I did is just what we normally do. We stay on. We win together and we lose together. And basically, the drivers Dr. Ullrich has hopefully carefully chosen. Obviously, me, it's many years ago. But for the others, we have a very good group of people. The young guys, the older guys, we mix very well. And, we all want to win. We definitely want to win with our car, and if it's not possible, then we certainly want to make sure that it's one of the other guys who deservedly won, like the number 2 car did it last year.
Well, there's some great team spirit, of course, within the Audi camp, and I believe that Justine has caught up with Alan McNeish and Dindo Capello. Justine.
Yeah, I'm here with Alan and Dindo. Alan, I know that the drivers doesn't like to talk about it, but how did you deal with this incident of last year to come back stronger this year?
To be honest, you put it out your mind. That was 2011, this is 2012. We're in a new season with a new car, with the e-tron Quattro, and it's also part of the World Championship. I think the best way for us to start, for Tom Dindo and I, to start the new season and to get rid of last year was to win, and that's what we did in Sebring. And so coming into this round, we're very focused to make sure that we actually do the rest of the 23 hours.
Yeah, Dindo, as Alan was talking, new car, new technology this year. So what really is the change?
Yeah, for me it's a really big change, because you remember last year we were talking about that I was ready for Audi tradition, and now I'm suddenly in the latest technology. It's something special for me, because joking apart, last year could have been my last Le Mans, and then when Audi decided to make the 4 car for Le Mans, they asked me to extend my contract 1 year longer, and that was a big surprise for me. And when I realized that I was one of the 3 drivers of the new H car, I was even more surprised. Actually, it's a brand new technology, and we are here. We cannot hide ourselves. We are here to win the race with this brand new technology. We would like to be the first to win this great race on a hybrid car, and we worked so hard until last week to make it possible. But Le Mans is Le Mans. It's almost impossible to make some prediction.
Yeah, Dindo was talking about it, Tom. The new e-tron Quattro hybrid. Did you have the first choice of the car? I mean, you 3 guys share 13 Le Mans wins in between you.
No, I mean, it's all done. We have, as I said, a fantastic team. So everything is put forward, and Dr. Ullrich, of course, has the last say on anything. And but I think it fits well. The older drivers with the new technology. I mean, that's the best motivation boost that you can have.
Well, before we take a look at the challenges of Audi in the LMP1 category, let's just take a small commercial break. We're back here in the studio with Tom Kristensen. Tom, just a question about the competition. I mean, did you study the opposition a little bit, or are you just concentrating on what you're doing here at Le Mans?
It's a bit of both. I mean, first of all, you can't cheat Le Mans. I mean, you have to be so respectful for that and all the data you can gather, like on a test day we had a few weeks ago. But certainly also the competition, and particularly when it's a new one now with Toyota and the other cars, in where they are fast, in what sector, how they do it, and so far they have impressed me greatly. I mean, in the second sector, which is the top speed, they have a very good job and have done a very good job, and I'm sure, like they will improve from the test day into the race on Saturday.
Well, Peugeot's decision not to race this year came as a great shock for a lot of people, but it hasn't really meant that it's going to be a one-horse race this year, as the Japanese manufacturer Toyota have decided to participate. Now, this report takes a look at the 2 main protagonists.
10 victories in 12 years. No team has left a bigger mark at Le Mans over the last decade than Audi. Now the team with the 4 rings faces a new challenge. Toyota. 2 Toyotas TS030 hybrids carrying the hopes of the Japanese manufacturer. Audi brings in 4 cars with a total of 12 drivers to guarantee the 11th win in Le Mans. Well, 9 of the drivers are Le Mans winners, so they've got a pretty good chance. Former Formula 1 branch of Toyota Motorsport, based in Cologne, teamed up with the Le Mans veterans of Orica and led by Hugh de Schonack. What a package that will be. Together with him, Toyota have built a strong and experienced driver lineup around the 2-time Le Mans winner Alex Wurst and, of course, Anthony Davidson. We'll add to the mix Sebastian Buemi, Stéphane Sarrazin, Nicolas Lapierre, Kazuki Nakajima, and you've got a great combination of experience and indeed speed. But the weather, well, will that play a part? I'm sure.
Tom, 8 days ago there was a test day here in Le Mans, and I was in the pit lane, and I saw quite some Audi engineers strolling down the pit lane, going down to the Toyota garage and have a look. How close do you monitor your competition?
Yeah, but I mean, so now they walk down because past the Toyota on the back there's a toilet. So I think that's why they have been there.
Possibly, yes.
No, they for sure. It's nice to see, and I think everyone really welcome Toyota in this category, and we have the greatest respect for what they have achieved before they left Le Mans to Formula One and now back again. And no, we monitor what we are doing, and I'm sure they have a look at us as well.
We'll hear about the mutual respect that's taken place between Audi and Toyota, because Adelaide is down in the pit lane and she's joined by Pascal Vasselon and also Anthony Davidson. Adelaide.
Exactly. But maybe let's start with the boss. Pascal, it's been hectic few months to be ready for Le Mans. Can you tell us a bit more about the development program of the team?
In fact, the development program of this car has had 2 starts. The first one was with the powertrain. This one has started a while ago, somewhere in 2006. Chassis development has been much tighter, basically starting too late, somewhere around 2010. And since then, yeah, we have been pushing very hard to be present here.
You have a mixed lineup with some very experienced driver, but also 2 rookies. Tell us more.
We have spent some time to select our driver lineup. I would say we are very pleased with them, to the point that now very clearly it's up to us to give them a proper car.
Of course, this year is the first year, but what could be your expectations for the race?
We are here to watch, to learn, and to do our best. I will not tell more than that.
What would you say is the main strength of the car?
I would say it's maybe too early to complete an analysis, but I would think that in terms of aero efficiency, we should be not too bad. And our powertrain, our hybrid powertrain, I think has already demonstrated during the test days that it's working well, and especially well in Le Mans.
Maybe we could ask the same question and the first feeling you get when you took the first time this car.
Well, the first thing that was not a surprise, but difference was obviously the combustion engine side of things, not being a diesel anymore. I actually had some engine note there, which was in a way a nice change. But like Pascal was just saying, the hybrid power when it kicks in, that was that was the thing that really opened your eyes. It was a big boost. You just wish it was there all the time.
Toyota left Le Mans 12 years ago, and in that period, Audi won 10 times. What you've got in your sleeve maybe to stop them?
Well, I mean, it's our comeback, obviously, as Toyota, but things have changed a lot since the early days for them in Le Mans. The style of the race hasn't changed at all, but the technology has, and with that comes new challenges, big challenges. So I think it's asking a lot from the team starting up, so fresh. Like Pascal said, it's been pretty much a race against time from a chassis side. I think it's asking a lot to have 2 cars make it all the way through to the end of the race without any problems at all. So we're being realistic, but hopefully we can show we've got the speed in the car.
We'll see. Thank you.
Well, we'll see exactly what Toyota have got in the tank this weekend. Of course, preparations taking place. You've got free practice and, of course, qualifications later on during the week. We've got another small commercial break, and we'll be back for the third and final part of Le Mans 24 Minutes. Welcome back to Le Mans 24 Minutes. We were here with Tom Christensen. Tom, you had a small wry smile on your face when Pascal said, "Oh, we're here to watch and monitor." What was that about?
No, not at all. I just think that that Mr. Vaslon, I mean, for sure, he's a very humble and a respectful man for the race, like you have to be. And I think that's exactly the right attitude. There are a lot of very good and intelligent people in their camp. They have a few drivers with experience from the Peugeot last year, like Wurz, Lapierre, and Davidson. So for sure, they have a good bunch of people. They have people from Formula One, also coming from. And I think in that sense they have everything right. We in that sense are focusing on what we have, and I think they're almost a strong lineup in terms of drivers like we are. So in that sense, for sure, we are respectful, and I think that's maybe what you saw.
Absolutely.
You're driving this year with the e-tron Quattro here, so it's again a new technology, and you're racing now for about 15 years. 15 years, I think, in Le Mans. How much did it change for you drivers to handle a car? Is it very different today to drive a race car with all the new technology inside than 15 years ago?
Yeah, 15 years ago it is. I mean, exactly the first time I did it, I was right-hand drive. It was a non-synchronized gearbox. There was no power steering. And in this sense, the cars were heavier. They were not as agile as they are today. But since then, I think the big development came in, particularly from '99 and until today. It has been a year with improvement in terms of chassis balance and drivability every single year. Of course, you had the big change in terms of going into the TDI, the diesel technology, what Audi did. That was, of course, amazing. And then the last change before last year, let's say from 2010 to 2011, with a big downsizing, and which also really made a point in terms of drivability, cut the speed down on the straights. But the speeds we take in for the race in dry condition for this weekend's edition will be the fastest ever, I think I can say, going into corners.
Well, a lot of these youngsters, Tom, as you know, would love to get behind the wheel here at Le Mans. We have this special report that looks at some of these young drivers who are part of the GT Academy.
Lucas Ordonez from Spain, Jordan Tresson from France. Well, they competed against over 1 million contestants to win the GT Academy, a competition which takes computer gamers from the virtual to real racing. Well, winning changed their lives forever, and both are now professional race drivers. Jordan won his first season, yes, and racing in the Blancpain Endurance Championship, while Lucas achieved an amazing second place at last year's 24 Hours of Le Mans. Well, it's becoming clear that Jordan, with all his French team, will not be satisfied with anything less than a podium finish at Le Mans.
The team has to build a very good car. Drivers has to be perfect in the car. If we manage to achieve that, yeah, I'm sure we can aim for a podium or victory.
Meanwhile, Lucas will only be happy if he finishes ahead of his fellow GT Academy graduate friends off the track, or two gamers, of course, fierce rivals. Yes. Once the racing starts.
The best, but not the win at Le Mans. The goal is to win Le Mans 24 hours, and that's the objective for 2012.
Well, both drivers have worked hard to prepare themselves for the unique challenges that they'll face at Le Mans. Both here and, well, they've experienced the highs and lows. Being physically fit dramatically improves concentration and stamina. Jordan enjoyed his time with two Signatech teammates training in Brittany, and why not?
I feel well prepared after the time we have in Brittany with my teammates Frank and Olivier.
However, a rookie error at Spa cost the team a great result. Jordan cannot afford to make another simple mistake.
Pit entry is partially blocked by car 23. Lost the whole left front mover.
Well, Lucas has also faced problems and was robbed of a podium finish at the Paul Ricard circuit when a mistake by his pit crew handed the team a 1-minute penalty. As a result, they missed out on the podium finish by just 10 seconds. That said, in his first, or I should say last race, he took a class win at the infamous Nürburgring 24-hour race, and Lucas arrives at Le Mans full of confidence. Join us each day this week as Lucas and Jordan go from virtual to reality, taking on the world's best drivers and each other, of course, as they strive their Le Mans dreams.
Tom, Jean Tresson, one of the guys we just saw, is one of 40 rookies this year at La Sarthe. You won in your rookie season, your rookie year, you won straight away your first title here. So there's no reason not to aim high.
No, I mean, okay, I got a chance at Joest Porsche in the private effort the first time in an LMP1 car. That's really important to be with the right team as well. But I think nowadays you have a lot of very good programs, one like this, and the drivers mature really well through that. I have to say that I raced for 10 years before I got my debut. But these some of these programs also now with coming into terms of artificial world, you can win during games, you can win doing different things, and doing a lot of program is very interesting, and that's obviously for stars for the future. And if they don't win in the first year, it's very important to finish to get the ballast of taking that experience in. I think now and then you can never compare. But I can only say that when you're a rookie here, your eyes are big and you learn a lot in that week, probably more than you have done in your last years of school.
Justine, I think you're down there with Alan and Dindo. I'd throw a few questions at those boys.
Yeah, it's a long-term marriage now, the three of you.
Yeah, we're having some fun down here, Tom. You should be down here, not up in the studio. It's much more fun down here.
Can I say
We're not
something?
talking about racing cars either.
No, I can see that. We can actually see the camera when you're offline. Yeah.
Can you listen to what we're saying, though?
Yes.
Yeah, what Dindo said about you, Tom, that's really not true. He was only joking, honestly.
Dindo, it's always the last race with you in Le Mans. Are you going to come back every year like this?
No, actually this year I think will be probably my last Le Mans. But yeah, I don't want to talk about that until the end of the race.
You don't want to divorce, huh? Tom, Alan and Dindo, it's a marriage forever, I think.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't think we'd make it back to the hotel on our own. We kind of get lost, and so we need each other to find our way back to the various places we go to. But I have to say, I first came here with Audi in 2000 and with Dindo, and so there's a lot of water passed under the bridge, we say, and a lot of fun and entertainment. So it certainly wouldn't be the same without him. I don't think he'll ever stop. He'll be here until till the 90th running of the Le Mans 24 hours.
I feel Justine can still talk.
Thank you very much, Justine, Alan and Dindo. Well, you can just see what sort of, team spirit they've got here amongst them in the Audi team. We can also see that in other teams. And so let's have a look at the manufacturer Corvette. They've been busy preparing their plight for this year's Le Mans.
Last year, Corvette won the GT Pro category at 24 Hours of Le Mans for the 7th time. It was their 6th Le Mans title for Beretta, the 3rd for Garcia, and the 1st for Milner. Corvette celebrated its 100th anniversary with dignity, and this year the Americans are returning to La Sarthe for a night fight, of course. They're the defending team. They mean business. Why not?
Well, it was certainly wonderful having the good fortune to win last year, which I think was our 7th victory here at Le Mans. However, each year is a new year, and you cannot rest on what you accomplished in the year before. Every year is new, every year requires additional preparation. We try and get as ready as we possibly can for this event. Everything we do is geared towards Le Mans, and we're ready this year.
2 weeks ago, Corvette Racing ended the Le Mans test day, or ended that 1st and 4th in the GT Pro category. Ollie Gavin ran the quickest lap in the 2 4-hour sessions.
Things we look at, obviously the aero package is the most important, and then the setup on the car. We don't really set the car up for a good qualifying run. We set the car up to make it drive very, very well throughout a variety of conditions. Much better having a car that's easily driven for 24 hours than one that makes just one fast lap.
But before getting to work and the track, There's the obligatory passage through the centre of Le Mans, the city itself. First appointment for the Americans, Republic Square, scrutineering the opportunity also for the whole team to capture the moment with a traditional family photo.
Well, I'm afraid it's time to say goodbye. So I think that, well, Alan and Dindo, they found them perfect matches down there. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time today.
And looking forward for the next 24 minutes.
Wonderful. Okay, come back whenever you like. Sebastian Tiffer, it's been a pleasure. I hope you'll join us tomorrow for another show.
Of course, but all the drivers prefer, you know, being down in the pits.
I know. We're going to have to change something around. Change the logistics. Mr. Le Mans, Tom Christensen, thanks very much. It's been an absolute pleasure. But before you go, can we just show you some images that we've got of you guys? What are you doing there? You practicing for a marathon or something? Oh, yes, we had a camera out there jogging around the Circuit de la Sarthe earlier on.
Did you do the whole track, the 13 kilometers?
Yeah, we did a few laps on it to see. There's actually ACO have done a good job this year. There's new tarmac for the whole Honeggia Straight, and including the 2 chicanes. And it's good to have a look at things like that. And even Dindo was on the long trip, so we're on for a good weekend, we hope.
This is what I call attention to detail here.
The drivers' briefing taking place on Tuesday, of course, with autographs for all of the fans. We'll be back for another show tomorrow night. Le Mans 24 minutes from us. Goodbye.
Every night, Le Mans 24 minutes, keeping you in touch with exactly what's going on. Do tune in throughout. Don't forget, we'll be live throughout qualifying, practice, and of course the race itself. Look forward to your company for that. For now, from me, Carlton Kirby, it's farewell.